to somebody. Sniffing through the crowd.
All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is February 19th, 2026 regular business meeting of the Board of Supervisors. If everybody could please stand for the pledge.
Take the roll. Chair Charles,
Here.
Vice Chair Newfagleis,
Here.
Supervisor Darby is absent, Supervisor McFarland,
Here.
Supervisor Knights,
Here.
and our Student Representative Aubrey Patton. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Prior to tonight's business meeting, the board held an executive session to discuss personnel matters and litigation. So right now is chair's comments, so me, but I'm going to wait till a little later to say a few things to the community. I do want to acknowledge before we have our proclamation for Ramadan that this week was a very holy week. It was Lent, so I want to wish everybody a wonderful Lent, and if they celebrate, and then also the Lunar New Year was also this week, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So next, we're going to have the proclamation, and Supervisor Knights will read that.
Okay, thank you, Chair Charles. Ramadan. Whereas Ramadan is a month-long annual observance held during the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and whereas Ramadan is a time of spiritual reflection and renewal, self-discipline, and community building observed by Muslims worldwide, and whereas during this month, Muslims observe strict fasting from dawn to sunset as a demonstration of faith, a way to emphasize with the less fortunate, and as a means to focus on spiritual growth, Ramadan is also a time to strengthen relationships with family and friends and to engage in charity work and community service. And whereas the conclusion of Ramadan is marked by the holiday Eid el-Fitr, a celebration of feasting, family gatherings, and the exchange of gifts. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Supervisors of Lower Providence Township wish to acknowledge the month of Ramadan and to express respect for those who observe this holy month. Lower Providence Township Board of Supervisors.
Great, thank you. Next are our presentations. We have several presentations tonight, and I'm really excited about them. First, we're going to start with Methacton School District updates from our Student Representative, Aubrey.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. So at Methacton, we've had a lot going on this week, this week we had a anti-ice protest at a pretty big turnout where students went and walked on the sidewalk for 30 minutes during their third period. The basketball team has been doing really well and will be competing in the district quarterfinals tomorrow, and spring sports are starting up. There was a senior banquet last week for all the seniors to dress up and have a nice dinner with some senior superlatives. Right now, scheduling is happening for all students for next year, and the warrior head from Methacton is beginning to be removed, and the M is just going to be our logo. And that's all.
Great, thank you. And thank you for all you're doing in your school. Next up, very exciting, we're going to have the Montgomery County Sheriff K-9 Unit presentation. And I think the chief is going to say a few. Yeah, get up here.
Want to do that first?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Sorry, we flipped the agenda a little.
That's all right.
Got to take care of the pups.
The dog, so I'm gonna have to wing
Pups
it
take
here. I
priority.
got a bunch of jokes to tell. So I'm gonna. Well, I'll wait till he comes in. Yeah, he has to grab the dog.
You have the floor.
Don't give them the floor.
This thing on? I'm gonna roast. I'll just roast the guys in the back. You know what? I'll introduce them. So right here to my right is Deputy Sean Forsyth. When he brings his dog in, he has a canine Finney, and his partner is Corporal Trevor Keller. His dog is Skiff. They're from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, so they're going to do a brief demonstration and talk to you a little bit about their dogs. We have a great partnership with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. We work hand in hand with each other on almost a daily, if not weekly basis, from everything from utilizing their canines, their bomb squad, interacting with them in court. They're always out and about serving warrants and helping us out with a bunch of different things. So I'm happy to see these guys here. Your partner takes a long time to get in here. I can only do this for so long. Hey, I'm going to introduce Bill Hopkins. He's going to do some magic tricks. And then I'm going to move this out of the way. So right there, that's Corporal Trevor Keller and Skiff.
Like you said, my name is Corporal Keller with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. Here we have Canine Skiff. He's one of our 3 canines that we have in our department. Canine Finney is also in the car. Just because we're doing a short presentation, we're just going to bring 1 dog in. Skiff is a narcotics patrol dog. He uses his. Oh, I guess I should talk to you as well.
Talk to them.
He uses his nose, obviously, to find odor. All of our dogs have 2 main roles: an odor role and a patrol role. If he is a narcotics dog, Sean's Chevy Forsyth's dog is a bomb dog. So they smell about 10,000 times better than we do. This is important, especially when it comes to the narcotics world. Bad guys try to cover odors, vacuum seal, cover in. I've seen everything from like oil to just a lot of different ways to try to outsmart our dog. This right here, what you see on is a place board. It's a way to kind of teach your dog a stay in a certain area. He has a short attention span. Every now and then I have to remind him what he's doing. You can see right now I don't have hands on him. It's very important that they listen to us at all times. Obedience is a big thing in the canine world. Sometimes I will have him down range where he needs to listen to my voice commands. Oh! Heel! And sometimes even he needs to listen to my hand command. The nonverbal commands sometimes are even big. Down. Yes. Everything he does is for reward. Some dogs are food reward, some are toy reward. My dog's reward is his well right here. Ouch! Ouch! Back, yes. So everything they do is kind of a game. When it comes to obedience, when it comes to narcotics, everything's a game. So basically they're waiting for us to give them a command, something to do. Here I have a key. It might not seem like it's much. When I roll in my hand, my odor is going to go in there. I don't want to get cheats on me. So, another thing, come down. Another thing they may do in the real world is called an article search. That key is an article. It's something that doesn't belong, has my human odor on it. In the real world, that could be guy robbed the bank, had a gun, moves in the bank. Hey, Joe. When they got him in custody, he doesn't have the gun. So now we have to try to find it. So he waits for a command from me. There's nothing to worry about. What he's doing is just sending for an article. Now again, that article is metal. Oh, come. So it's not going to have that much odor on it. If it's something like fabric, it might have a little bit more odor on it. But basically what he's doing, he's looking for that, and when he finds it, one thing you'll see is he will not quit until he finds it. When we're originally selecting dogs, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a dog that basically will continue to hunt for odor until he finds it. See that little head snap there? He's gotten the odor. When he finds it, he lays dead. So that's what we're looking for. On the street, that could be something as small as a spent shell casing. It could be a gun. It could be a knife. But again, he's using his nose. Again, he smells about 10,000 times better than we do to find that. And everything he does for is this. This is his favorite thing. Another thing we do on the street, probably one of our main control functions is tracking. So this right here is his tracking harness. When I put this harness on him, again, I give him another command. They're very command driven. When I tell him to then track, he knows that he's going to search for the track. So essentially what that is, it's kind of threefold. So when you walk across the ground, believe it or not, you actually drop skin particles, you leave a trail. When you step on the grass releases odor as well, that leaves a trail. When you step on the dirt, that also releases an odor. So basically he's trying to follow those three different things. They're very time sensitive. Weather is a big element to that. And a lot of it is time. So, and also in an urban environment, if someone runs across the parking lot, there's only one of those three factors. So it's only just basically my human odor on the pavement. There's no crushed vegetation, there's no disturbed earth. So that's really the hardest area to track. But they use their noses, and again, it's 10,000 times better. You can figure how much better that is than our noses. The last function that everyone loves to see. Before I get into that, I'll talk about, so we train out at U-Penn. We originally go to school for about 20 weeks total, and after that we have to train about 16 hours a month continually. There's always a lot of training. One of their big things that I think is kind of new to them and a lot of other trainers do not do, it's their canine fitness. So they're really big on their fitness. Before you guys go for a run, what does everyone do? They stretch. So 8, 8, 8, 8. So they have a lot of cool things that we do. Also, you know, I stretch our dogs out. So like even before we do a lot of activity, I might try to stretch him out. But again, everything he does is for this. But he knows you're not allowed to have it, so I say, yes. The most exciting part that everyone loves to see, everyone obviously knows they have a lot of teeth, and they do bite. When we do send them on the street for a bite, it's not just for a guy who got pulled over for a DUI or something small. It has to be something major, something with drugs, violence, something like that. And when we do utilize them, it's just to take a person into custody. We're not there to hurt the person. And when you do see them actually bite, you'll see how he doesn't even move. He basically stays on that one area. Again, they're not alligators. They don't move up and down. We just want them to bite, hold. And we would tell the guy to go to the ground, put him in custody, then the dog will come out. The Deputy Forsyth's going to put on a sleeve. The reason we wear this sleeve,
You love this part.
we wear the sleeve obviously so we don't get hurt. The dogs, I think they weigh about 250 pounds per square inch. So it's a lot of pressure. I can tell you it's almost enough to break bones. Again, these dogs are command driven. So you can see he's sitting waiting. He knows he's not allowed to go until I tell him to. That sleeve right there is almost like a big one of these toys, except it's a really higher value toy. Okay. Yeah. It hits very, very, very hard. You can see, as I talked about before, when he's on the bite, he just stays in the same area. And I always tell people, look, watch his tail. He loves this. This is just a big toy. Sometimes we'll do training in different areas, sometimes different surfaces, sometimes we'll play around them, pick them up. Up! Yeah! Down. Yeah. We'll let him win that, huh? Okay, look, it's just like a big toy. That's, quick demonstration. You guys have any questions for us? Good question. I should have said at the beginning. So he is our oldest dog we currently have. He's 7. In April, Finny, I think, is 3.5. 3.5. Our other dog is about 4. So generally, we hope to work them to about, I'm going to say, 9 or 10. My previous dog, I retired a little young. It all depends on health. You what? So technically, he's department property. When they do retire, you got to sign some paperwork, but then he's like mine. So like, I actually have my retired guy at home. He's 14, but he's like all mine.
Now, can I ask you, what breed is it, and is that?
So he's a Dutch Malinois, so he's a Dutch Shepherd mixed with a Belgian Malinois. Deputy Forsyth's dog is a Shepherd, and our third dog is a Belgian Malinois.
Oh, so
Generally, those are the breeds that you see
Okay.
in police work for dual-purpose dogs. If it's going to be a single purpose, you might see labs, some shepherds, but generally this is what you see, something like this.
And if he's doing that and you're not close by, can the suspect surrender, or does he just have to wait?
So, we would love a surrender. That's optimum. So a lot of times these dogs are more deterrent. that we don't even need to utilize. So, for instance, if we're on the street serving a warrant, if I can get him out and get him barking, generally people are like, coming out, coming out, coming out. Nobody wants to get bit because it hurts. So if we can get a guy to come out without having to fully utilize him, it's a win for all parties. Any other questions? Usually people are like, can I put the sleeve on?
I'll pass on
All right,
that.
thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Well, that was awesome. Thank you so much to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and Sean Kilkenny for making this arrangement. I think, is Oscar here? Hey, Oscar, thank you so much. You helped arrange it as well. I appreciate you. All right, great. Well, we got Chief Jackson up again for Police Department commendations. You have the floor, Chief.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Corporal Keller and Deputy Forsyth. That's pretty impressive. My dog couldn't find a hamburger. But in any case, we have two commendations, or two groups of officers getting commendations this evening. One is a life-saving commendation. It's going to be awarded to Corporal Justin Hubert, Officer Tom Foy, and Officer Kyle Hirsch. This is relating to a cardiac event and a response to that where the patient survived. The second group of officers are going to receive a distinguished unit commendation. This is for an investigation involving a stolen motor vehicle, a burglary, and some where they linked this suspect to other crimes throughout our area. And being awarded distinguished unit commendation are Sergeant Jeremy Bonner, Officer Tim Arthur, there he is, and Officer Ryan Frederick. So I would like to start with the life-saving commendation. So if you three could come on up, please. All right, the life-saving commendation reads, on November 10th, 2025, Lower Providence Township police officers and emergency medical service personnel from Lower Providence Community Ambulance were dispatched to a residence on Lafayette Drive for an unresponsive 55-year-old male. According to the patient's son, he was found on the kitchen floor without a pulse. Upon arrival, Corporal Justin Hubert immediately initiated chest compressions while Officer Thomas Foy assisted emergency medical personnel with preparing and deploying necessary equipment. Shortly thereafter, Officer Kyle Hirsch relieved Corporal Hubert, and continued chest compressions as EMS provider performed rescue breaths. CPR efforts continued until the patient regained a pulse and began breathing independently. Corporal Hubert and Officer Foy assisted EMS personnel in transferring the patient to the ambulance, while Officer Hirsch then volunteered to drive the ambulance to Einstein Montgomery Medical Center, enabling EMS personnel to focus exclusively on continued patient care during transport. As a direct result of the coordinated, decisive, and life-saving actions of Corporal Hubert, Officer Foy, and Officer Hirsch, the emergency medical personnel, the patient survived and ultimately recovered from his cardiac events. Your actions during this incident constitute an exceptional achievement in the protection and preservation of human life. You are being commended for your exemplary performance and the professionalism you demonstrated throughout this critical event. As a result, you are being awarded this life-saving commendation before the Board of Supervisors. I get it mixed up here. There we go. Kyle, congratulations. Pictures, Bill? Come on. You know, like does magic, it takes pictures.
Hey, congratulations. Great job. Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And you know what? If I could ask everybody in the room to just do a standing ovation for the police.
Oh, no, we got one more.
Oh, we got one more? Never mind. Never mind.
Thank you. All right, the next group of officers, if you can come on up, please. Okay, these officers are being awarded a Distinguished Unit Commendation. The commendation reads, on July 12, 2025, while on patrol, Sergeant Jeremy Bonner was monitoring the stationary license plate reader at the intersection of Egypt Road and South Trooper Road when he received an alert for a stolen Mitsubishi Outlander traveling northbound. Sergeant Bonner immediately notified fellow patrol officers and began searching the area for the vehicle. Officer Ryan Frederick responded to assist with the search. A short time later, while canvassing a nearby neighborhood, Officer Frederick observed the suspect vehicle traveling east on Woodland Avenue. He quickly caught up to the vehicle and conducted a high-risk motor vehicle stop. The suspect was taken into custody without incident and secured in a patrol vehicle. While officers were investigating the stolen vehicle, Officer Timothy Arthur was dispatched to a residence in the 200 block of Lauman Avenue for a burglary in progress. Upon arrival, he learned that a suspect matching the description as the person stopped by Officer Frederick had entered the home through a rear door and stolen multiple power tools. The victim reported that he confronted the suspect inside the residence and watched as he fled out of a side door and into a waiting Mitsubishi Outlander parked out front, and then ultimately he drove away. The victim immediately contacted 911. Recognizing the connection between the burglary and the stolen vehicle, these officers recognized that. They then transported the victim to the scene of the vehicle stop where the suspect was positively identified. A subsequent search of the vehicle resulted in the recovery of stolen power tools, along with additional property linked to thefts from other jurisdictions. Through the coordinated investigation conducted by Sergeant Bonner, Officer Arthur, and Officer Frederick, police were able to connect the suspect to multiple theft-related offenses across several jurisdictions. Your participation in this incident and the safe apprehension of the suspect represents an outstanding accomplishment in protection of life and property. This achievement reflects exceptional teamwork, decisive action, and professional application of sound strategies and tactics. Accordingly, this Distinguished Unit Citation is hereby conferred upon you in accordance with General Order 303 before the Board of Supervisors on this date. Got it right. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
So that concludes our accommodations. I just want to kind of talk about a little bit about what makes this all come together, and it's the exceptional police officers that we have in Lower Providence Township. To note, this is the third life-saving commendation that we've given out within the past year. That's pretty impressive. I've been a police officer for 25 years, and I'm going to tell you it's very rare that we are able to bring people back. And then within the last year, we've had 3 of these incidents. So I'm very proud of these guys, the work that they do day in and day out, whether it's life-saving or going out and stopping bad guys from being bad guys. They do a phenomenal job, and it's a true testament to their professionalism and the training that they receive here. So congratulations to everybody, and thank you for all that you do. Appreciate it, guys.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chief, and our command and our uniform division. All right, next up we have Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board presentation. Is Tessa Robinson here? All right, hi Tessa, how are you? Good. Paul.
Paul is.
Paul's the clicker.
Human clicker.
Give it a minute, though.
Can we just make sure the microphone's still on?
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a safe night. Bye, thanks.
Don't feel bad. This happens every time.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Clears out
Not
as soon as
you.
it's done.
I go to a lot of these, so it's okay. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. I got to see the dog.
Great, well, welcome Tessa. Thank you for accepting our invitation to be here, and we're super excited to hear about all the exciting events coming up this year. It's a big year, so.
Yeah, thanks
You
so
have
much
the
for
floor.
having me. As stated, I'm Tessa Robinson. I'm a comms specialist with Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. You can go to the next one, I'm sorry. So the major question we get about our organization is why we call ourselves Valley Forge if we market all of Montgomery County. So we are a marketing organization for the entire county. And that's because there are 18 Montgomery counties in the US. So we try to differentiate ourselves by calling ourselves Valley Forge. It's nationally known, people know the park. So we do market all of the county and not just the Valley Forge area, and I always like to get that out of the way first and foremost. This is our mission and our vision, inspiring the world to fall in love with Montgomery County, and our vision is a must-experience destination rooted in the past and leading the future. So I'm gonna go over some of our teams. I'm gonna try to run through this. I know it's been a long night and there's been a lot of presentations. We have a marketing team, we have an events team, and then we have an in-house creative team. So these are just some of the opportunities that are available to both our members and businesses in the county. So we have a PR team. I actually run our social media channels. We have digital marketing, our website and our e-blasts, co-op, our in-house creative, and our mascot, Monty. Membership is one of our biggest external programs when it comes to some of the townships that we go to. So we have a lot of valued members in Lower Providence. We have Arnold's, the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, and the American Treasure Tour, but that's just a couple. We have so many. We even have some in like Montclair area and all throughout. Our membership team is amazing. They try their best to support everybody in Montgomery County, but primarily those members that they get like the first dibs on stuff. We also have our digital and print publications. So we have 3 right now. They cover dining, arts, and then our general visitor guide. They're distributed in a lot of like high traffic areas. So the mall, the park, our visitor center, the hotels. And then we also have digital versions online for people to download, and they feature every single one of our members. And then our website, my coworker Courtney runs our website. She's amazing. We receive about 2 million. That's increasing every day. So this year we're on track for about 3 million, but 2 million annual page views. And that's people just looking for things to do in the county and looking for, places to eat, activities, things to do with their family. And then we have a consumer e-news that goes out to about 17,000 people every week. When it comes to our social channels, if you just want to click play on that video, you can mute it. This is actually at Arnold's. Our videographer took this video. We did a whole series with them, but I also run around the county with my iPhone and take videos and create reels. So some of our content isn't as highly produced, but we do see about 25 million video views a year, and our following across all platforms is about 300,000. Here's our annual events. A lot of these are member events, but we invite the community. We have our Rev Run coming up that fully supports the Valley Forge National Historic Park. All the proceeds go back to them. We have our National Travel Rally and Montco Golf Classic, which is where we celebrate tourism and kind of go over the year. We have our Montco meetups. They happen quarterly, and we try to spread them out throughout the county, and we invite businesses that are or are not members to come and just kind of see what we're about, network, and get more information on our organization. And then our annual luncheon is the video that's on the left here. It's our Pride and Joy. Every October, we have a big, huge event with about 600 people from across the county to just get everybody together and to have fun. Our Montco Jazz Fest is still growing. It's on about year 4, I believe. If you want to play that video too, thank you. We do a kickoff every year, and this kind of changes every year as we're figuring out what people want to see, but we are always looking for more participants in this or venues, whether that's restaurants or larger venues that fit a lot of people. So when we go to these townships, I'm just, sticking that in there in case there are any businesses in your township that would want to participate. Freedom from Hunger is our give back program. So we raise money for MON, which is Montco Anti-Hunger Network, and they serve about 70 plus soup kitchens in and around Montgomery County, and they serve the food insecure. This, I'll talk over it if you want to click play, is our new history video. So now that we're into 250, I'm going to run through this really quickly too. This is our main marketing campaign and the video that we're using in all of our spots across TV, web, social this year. It really highlights all of the major attractions, but also really keying in on that history piece that people are focusing on this year for America's birthday. So we feature a lot of our historic destinations, and that coincides with our marketing campaign this year, which is Retreat to Valley Forge, Retreat to Montgomery County. And that is a play off of George Washington having retreated to Valley Forge with his troops to kind of gather, reset, train. We're kind of using it as like retreat as in a vacation. So it's kind of a double play. But our goal with that campaign is to get people that are coming to Philly for a lot of the major events to flow over into Montgomery County, into some of these townships. That being said, on the 4th of July weekend, the 3rd through the 5th, we are doing a new program called the Houses of Declaration. This is all across the county, so you can see all of the towns that are participating up there so far. We're still accepting other venues, but basically this is going to be where we have reenactors read the Declaration of Independence across the county that weekend in places where people would have heard it back in the day. So taverns, grocery stores, I think IKEA is even doing one. A lot of our historic locations are participating. There are a bunch of 4th of July parades that are participating. So again, if there's anybody that's interested in hosting or reading, please reach out and let us know, because we are trying to tack on some more towns. We're making him wear the tricorn hat, so I don't know if that takes you out of the running. And then I kind of touched on this before, but this is our slogan this year, Retreat to Valley Forge. So it's going to be the park's 50th birthday this summer, and they're the only national park that shares a birthday with our country on the 4th of July, which is pretty cool. So they're going to be celebrating 50 years while we're celebrating 250 of the country. The celebrations will take place that same weekend that we're doing the Houses of Declaration, and there's all sorts of programming from, educational things, reenactment, cannon firings, all of that. And then we're gearing up for 27 and 28 as it'll be the 250th anniversary of the encampment when George Washington and his troops were there, so that's next year. This is a little piece called the Highway of Heroes, yes, and we are participating with Gettysburg and Pittsburgh and one other location. Basically, you can travel around PA and visit these historic sites, and then when you visit all 5 or 6, I believe, you get the commemorative set of coins, and there's one for each of the historic locations. So we have our Valley Forge coin with the arch there. Just another cool way that we're trying to get people engaged in the history this year. And then this is a lot, I know you can't read it. This is our 2026 calendar, and I really just put it in here to show everybody like how much is happening this year. A lot of this at the top is both our organization, but also happening in Philadelphia. And while it's not happening in Montgomery County, we show people because the city is going to be overflowing. Traffic as it is bad. So with all of these people here, that's where our retreat campaign comes in, where we're saying retreat to, the countryside where we have more space, where there's free parking and, the mall and the park and things to do. So we're really trying to capitalize on a lot of these events and then push people from Philly out into the entire county as far out as Pottstown. That's all. Hopefully that wasn't too long. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Great.
Yeah, that's awesome. One quick question is, when and where is the Jazz Festival?
So every year it's different. We've had, I should have done a better job of explaining it, but it's about a week long. So, and then there are dozens of venues throughout that week. So whoever wants to participate, some restaurants even already have jazz performers and they just kind of tack themselves on for the promotional aspect. But the biggest event is our kickoff, and that's usually held at like a larger venue. So we've done Ursinus, we've done Ambler, Temple Ambler campus. So every year we kind of pick a new location and destination to try to get people involved. And really it's just about getting people to come back the next year. So restaurants, venues, anything like that, if they're interested, please let us know because we're trying to expand.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So I'm just curious, when you market outside of Montgomery County with all of these wonderful programs, do you have targeted market areas that you reach, like to cities or to particular states, or just roughly, what's
Yeah.
your strategy there?
Yeah, so we have some different strategies depending on what we're marketing. For example, we just started internationally marketing for the World Cup. So we're actually, and our ads are doing incredibly well. So we know there's a lot of interest in the World Cup and coming to Philadelphia for the World Cup. So right now we're marketing in all of the countries that are playing games in Philadelphia. So I think there's a list of about 20 countries that are playing here in Philly, and we're marketing to all of those people to say, hey, the city's going to be crazy. Come stay in Valley Forge and then head in for the games or watch the games there. So we've done a lot of market research about what people are looking for when it comes to the World Cup. But outside of that, we typically market in like a drivable range. That's what we see, like families that are looking for weekend getaways. So we'll go like up to New York, Boston, down to Maryland, that general area. And then our sales team does more national efforts and international efforts because they bring in large groups for like the hotels and conventions and stuff. So it depends on what we're talking about. But
Thank you, that's
yeah. Any other questions? The behind the home plate messaging. I don't know if it's behind the home plate, but I know that we will have it. The big pink banner. I think it's actually down in Clearwater. Yeah, Clearwater right now. So keep an eye out for it. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Anybody?
Thank you so much for your time. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Stay
it.
in touch. Give us brochures.
I'm
Put stuff in
sorry,
our
what's
lobby.
I gave Jane my business card, so if anybody
Jane's the
wants one or
best.
needs to reach me, feel
Okay.
free to check in with me.
Okay, stay in touch. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thanks, Tessa. Have a good night. Awesome. Wow. Everybody's going to need to take a nap in 2027. That's exhausting. Oh my gosh. Okay. Consent agenda. Next is the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda includes the following: acceptance of the minutes of the Board of Supervisors business meeting of February 5th, 2026, acceptance of meeting minutes from township boards, committees, commissions, acceptance of monthly departmental reports for January 2026, and approval of the treasurer's report and payment of the bills totaling $1,147,403.76. I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Board comment? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have old business. Consideration of Resolution 2026-10 approving preliminary final subdivision plan for 752 Sunnyside Avenue, and we have Solicitor Gallagher to explain more.
Certainly, as the board will recall, this matter was in front of the board the last meeting. Since that time, we have worked with staff to put together the attached resolution. One of the main items that was outstanding was the request for a waiver on the sidewalks. As the board will recall, the Planning Commission recommended a deferral of the installation of sidewalks rather than a waiver. We have actually prepared two versions of a resolution for you this evening. One which defers the installation of the sidewalk requirements along the frontage of both lots 1 and 2 for such time as a building permit is submitted for lot 2. The other version of this resolution denies the sidewalk waiver in its entirety, and from a timing perspective, what that would mean would be that the sidewalks need to be installed prior to recording the subdivision plan, or an escrow will be required to ensure that those sidewalks are completed in a timely fashion. Either one is up to the board's discretion this evening. The rest of the waivers, I think, were pretty straightforward based on the conversation last time.
Great, thank you, Solicitor. Anything else, CJ?
No, I would just ask that when a motion is made to presumably approve this resolution, that you just specify which option you're going with regard to the sidewalk waiver. So either, approve the resolution with the sidewalk deferral or with the sidewalk denial. So deferral or denial is kind of what we're looking for, some specificity on.
Okay, great. Great. All right, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-10 with the deferral option. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Great. Is any board comment? Is there? I can't speak. Is there any board comment? It's a long day. Okay, public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have new business. And I'm just going to make a few comments really quick before we move on to the resolution we're going to introduce. So at the last meeting, our previous public meeting, it was clearly stated that Lower Providence Township does not participate in the federal 287G program. In light of questions raised following last week's activity in the township, tonight we are formally reaffirming that position through the adoption of an official resolution. The township, our police department, both do not in any way participate in 287G with federal immigration authorities. We do not perform federal immigration enforcement functions. Immigration enforcement is a federal responsibility. It's really on Congress. The township does not coordinate or participate in federal immigration operations. Our police department role remains solely focused on local public safety. I want to thank our police officers for their service last week. While there has been significant public attention surrounding immigration concerns, our officers were simultaneously managing numerous difficult and unrelated incidents with professionalism and dedication. So I thank you. I applaud them for the continued commitment to protect our community under challenging circumstances. To our residents, we recognize the fear and uncertainty that many of you are feeling. We want you to know that your local government is listening. Our goal is not to create division anywhere, including this room, but to foster understanding, stability, and unity. We remain committed to partnering with our community, being supportive, having open, robust conversations, and ensuring Lower Providence remains a place where everyone feels welcome and safe. By adopting this resolution tonight, the board formally affirms our commitment to accurate public information and continued trust building within the township. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have consideration of what I was just speaking of, Resolution 2026-11, and this is the Lower Providence Police Department's role in immigration enforcement. So I'll turn it over to EJ to explain the resolution a little bit more.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for your comments. It's, I don't have a whole lot more to add. I think just kind of what this resolution mechanically does is just formalizes existing policy in resolution form as a more formal township policy. So this formally reflects the fact that the township and the police department have not and will not enter into a 287G agreement with the federal government. It essentially reflects the existing practices of the township and the police department. So it doesn't represent any change or modification of existing practice, but it just formalizes it in a resolution form. And I would just ask the chief, for your concurrence that everything I just said is accurate and true.
Yes, I have no objection to the resolution. In fact, I support it. The resolution is consistent with our many years past practice and current practice, and consistent with the recent statements that the township has put out on the matter. So happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Great, thank you for that, and thank you, EJ, as well. Motion to approve Resolution 2026-11. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Great, and board comment.
Just a quick clarification, is it 2026-11 or 12?
Sorry. There's a typo on the sheet. It's motion, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-10. Oh, no, it's 11.
This one is
Yeah,
11.
This one is 11. Yeah, sorry, Gary. Sorry, Supervisor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And 12 became 11.
Okay, I did it earlier in the night.
right.
We had taken a resolution off the, yeah. It is 11.
No
No
worries.
problem.
Okay, motion to approve Resolution
What-
2026.
Comments.
Okay.
I just wanted to add, kind of in support of what the chief said, but this resolution and the chief's prior comments from several weeks ago also are completely aligned with what the district attorney and the county chiefs association had published with regard to their practice and intent. So we're aligned entirely with the other chiefs in the county with this practice, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And if anybody's unaware, that the District Attorney's Office and the Police Chiefs Association of Montgomery County released a joint statement pretty much saying exactly what this resolution does say. So completely aligned.
Great. Let's finish board comment, and then we'll definitely do public comment. Yeah, and I would just add on to that, Chester County DA, Chester County Chiefs, I mean, everyone is aligned on this one. That's close to us in proximity for the most part. Any other board comment? You have anything, Supervisor? Okay, now public comment, please come up and state your name.
My name is Tejal Mehta. I'm a resident of Lower Providence Township for the past 23 years. I'm also a practicing immigration attorney, and I'm very familiar with the rules governing ICE and Customs and Border Protection's activities. And what we've seen in the current administration's conduct is ICE and CPB are not following the rule of law. They're not respecting the constitutional rights of some of the individuals that they've picked up. Many of those, I won't say many, but some of them actually happen to be US citizens, lawful permanent residents, or people who actually are in valid immigration status. It may be a temporary immigration status, but they're not necessarily illegal. So what is actually, it's a question for both the Board of Supervisors as well as the police chief. What is the role of the local police when ICE agents are engaging in extrajudicial conduct that violates the civil rights of the citizens of this community?
I appreciate your comment, but
Okay.
I don't like the police chief or any of my staff being kind of put on the spot with
Okay.
a very heavy legal question like that in a public
Yes.
meeting. So I'm happy to take it under advisement, and we obviously have your contact information, so
Okay,
happy
so
to get back.
you'll respond later.
I'm
is what
happy
you're
to get
saying.
back to
Okay.
you. I'll be consulting with our legal counsel as well to make sure I don't say anything out of line, but I'm cautioning the police chief from answering, especially in a public setting right now.
Okay, so as the resolution as it's drafted, which I wholly support, I'm so happy to see that our township is, formally stating this policy. But from what I'm understanding, it's just stating that the township, particularly the police department, doesn't actively cooperate with ICE, with the Department of Homeland Security under the Section 287 program. But I guess, a corollary is what can the township do to protect the rights of its community members? So yes, if you could provide more guidance on that, that would be very helpful. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. We hear you. And we'll get back to you. Absolutely. Thank you.
And I just want to say, I share your concerns because disabled combat wounded veteran was picked up by ICE, a U.S. citizen, on his way to work. And he was tear gassed. He was dragged out of his car. After his citizenship was proven, they kept him in detention for like 4 days and refused to let him shower to get the tear gas out of his eyes. This has happened with other veterans who are U.S. citizens, and ICE is acting extrajudicially. They're violating the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments as well as due process. And if they can do it to illegal immigrants who, the current Republican administration are calling illegals and deny due process, they can do that to citizens. So I share your concern, and as a veteran, it really pisses me off what this current Republican administration is doing, because they are basically driving authoritarian tendencies, through this federal police force. And my family grew up under the Gestapo, and this is very similar, and it is wrong. So you are right.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, authorization to advertise an ordinance amending Chapter 120 of the Township Code, Streets and Sidewalks. And we have Solicitor Gallagher and EJ Metry, our Township Manager, to explain more.
Sure, so I'll take this one. Obviously, we've had a couple of snowflakes in the last few weeks. They refused to go away. And that raised some, in dealing with that snowfall, township staff looked at our current provisions regarding the clearing of sidewalks and realized that we had some cleaning up to do in this ordinance. So one of the big changes is that we're changing the time for clearing the snow from 48 hours after the last snow to 24 hours. And then we added in provisions that allow the code enforcement department to go out and enforce the provisions that require the shoveling within 24 hours. We also added in fines of $25 for those that do not comply. So again, this is just a cleanup ordinance, and we've reviewed this with township staff, and it's in a form appropriate for advertising this evening.
Great, thank you so much. Motion to authorize advertisement of an ordinance amending Chapter 120 of the Township Code. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, board comment?
Just a comment, not an objection in any way to the ordinance, but I'm sensitive to seniors who live in their town, in their homes, by themselves in some cases, who are physically incapable in a snowstorm such as what we had in doing that themselves, which then says they would need to pay someone to do it. Now, the reality is, in our neighborhood, and I know in others, teenage boys have done it for free. Neighbors have used their snow blowers to help them, and that's all wonderful. But I just say, as we go forward, we want to be a little judicious about understanding why is this one not being done, and maybe look for some solutions before we impose a formal fine. That's just a comment, not a change of the ordinance. Thank you.
Great, any additional board comment? No. Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, motion carries. All right, next we have authorization to advertise 2026 road reconstruction bid, and we have the fabulous Joe Chilano.
Oh, thank you very
You're up.
much. I like that introduction. See that, Paul? Yes, good evening. Thank you. Once again, here to seek authorization to advertise and bid this year's road projects. Base bid A includes a piece of level road, and that's basically from the school Lenape going down towards Arcola Road to where remember we did the hill because that was bad, so we could take care of that section. River's Edge Drive, Runnymede Drive, Waterfall Circle, Creekview Way, Meadow Road, Sony Drive, Lloyd Lane. Alternates include Archer Court, Chauncey Court, Sky Drive, Brandywine Drive, Prescott Circle, and Ashton Road. We have approximately $695,000. And of course, we'll do the alternates if we have money. So Tim and I and his office have been working on this, and we're ready to go and get it out to bid. So if you have any questions, let me know.
I don't think so. Motion to authorize advertisement of the 2026 road reconstruction bid. I'd like to make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any board comment? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next,
Thank you. Thank you.
you got it, yeah. Thank you for what you're doing and your team.
Thank you.
Approval of landscape maintenance contract. We have Jane Delaney and we have Paul Donnelly to explain more. You are also fabulous. I always like set this thing I have to do.
Do you want to take it, or
Whatever.
you know more about it than I do? So.
Yeah. So I'm here tonight to ask for the request for the approval of the Green Ridge Landscaping for one more year extension. They came to me with a CoStarz bid, which typically is the lowest bid that can come in without getting a RFP done. I figured, I talked to the owner and everything. We worked it out, and he gave me the bid of 101, 142. We did budget for 100,000 this year. We've been with this company for like 10 years, and they know our township. They do a great job. We have a good working relationship with them. I figured for one more year we can do it, and if we want to put it out for an RFP next year, we could do it to see what the prices are. But I did get some prices, moving forward this year, 2 of them, and one came in at 115, one was coming in there. So I figured, let's try it for one more year, and then we can work on getting other bids if we feel like we need to. But I think this is a good option right now.
And if I build off of that, part of the process that we've done up to this point is we considered going out for RFP. That was kind of part of this process going up. And I think in reviewing that and Jane reaching out to a number of different companies, it didn't end up seem to save us any money. And we also want to spend the next year to review all of the different places that we get mowed to see if there's any places that we can mow either less frequently or reduce the mowings to save us money ultimately. We've had a very, very favorable contract with this organization previously, and I think that's one of the reasons we saw such low pricing. And moving forward, I think that price is probably going to normalize a little bit and go up. But this is a good price for us right now and something that we think is good for where we're at.
Great, thank you. Motion to approve, oh, go ahead. Oh, do you want to ask questions?
I just have a
Okay.
quick question. And I'm not opposed to this or anything. I did notice that the price from 2025 to 2026 went up about 29% or so. Is that because we got a really good deal before, or
So
is it?
we were locked in 2021, like the end of 2021 for 4 years, and that's what he came in. But we did budget the 100,000 originally,
Right.
but the previous owner sold and this new owner bought it, but that were the prices we were locked in for 4 years.
I see.
So, which was a really good price.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, super. Motion to approve landscape maintenance contract with Green Ridge Landscaping for 1 year under their PA CoStarz contract. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Board comment? Any public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, next up, announcements. We have the Environmental Advisory Council, February 25th at 7 at the Evansburg Winery. Ooh, whose idea was that? Okay, we get the Library Board, February 23rd at 6 o'clock
At the library?
at the library. But I know they go to the winery sometimes. The Planning Commission is February 25th at 7, and the Zoning Hearing Board is February 26th at 7 o'clock. Now we're going to have courtesy of the floor, not to exceed 3 minutes per person. Any meeting attendees wishing to address the board, please come to the podium, state your name, and whether you're a township resident. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Public comment is an opportunity to share your thoughts with the board. Supervisors may respond at their discretion, but are not required to answer questions during their portion of this portion of the meeting. I would like to follow up, if you'd like to follow up, as stated earlier, please contact the board or township staff directly by email or phone. And obviously, we're available. I mean, we're here and we're available to the supervisors, so we want to have conversations, reach out. If there's any courtesy of the floor, anybody wants to speak, please come up to the podium. No, sure? Okay. All right, next we have board comments. I think we'll just start at the end and move this way.
I have one thing I'd like to say, and it's sort of funny. I drafted something prior to this meeting, and then I was asked to read the Ramadan proclamation. I know that there's been on Facebook some people, complained about the proclamation and a Facebook post, and why was it made for this religion and not Lent? And some people commented on a number of different religions out there. And it just got me thinking, when you think about our Constitution, the First Amendment, the Treaty of Tripoli, clearly establish a bright line between religion and government. Also, there's over 10,000 different religious sects around the world, and a large segment of the population does not believe in any gods. So I would propose that we think about as a township to not make mention of any religious holidays, because it's not inclusive. It's actually, if you have 10,000 points of view like this and you choose to talk about one of them and raise it, it's not inclusive, it's exclusive to the other 9,999. I don't see that it serves a public purpose. So I just think we should think about this for the future and let people practice their religion at home with their families and at their places of worship. So.
I understand. Yeah, that's reasonable. Any other board comments?
No.
Great. Just want to say thanks for everybody for coming. Thanks again to the police. Yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive, to say the least. So, but again, we are available. I will meet with anybody anytime, and I know my colleagues will too, to have a conversation. So, okay, with that, adjournment.